hope you and your families are all well and safe during lockdown 2.0. So, lockdown 2, we're going to bring you some lessons. Mark and I, over the next couple of weeks, are going to send out some tips to help you guys get your golf ready for when we return in December. Back in the spring, I had a few requests for a bunker lesson. So that's what I'm going to bring you today, dedicated. I'm out here at the club in the wind and rain at the moment. So here goes. So we're going to start with just a basic overview of a bunker shot. Okay, number one is making sure you use the right equipment, the right club in a greenside bunker shot. So today I've got my 60-degree lob wedge with 10-degree bounce. I've given many lessons in the past where people have entered a bunker with not enough loft. So using a pitch and wedge 9-iron, it's just not going to help the ball get up and out of the bunker. The second point is understanding you're striking the sand and not the golf ball. The club enters the sand about 1.25 inches to 1.5 inches behind the ball. It's a pillow of sand between the club face and the ball itself, which lifts the ball up out of the bunker. Okay, the third point is speed. Probably the most common fault in the lessons that I give is people just stop. They slow down, decelerate when the club enters the sand and the ball just doesn't lift up out of the bunker. Okay, so make sure there's speed. If you get all 3 points that I've just mentioned correctly, so use the right club, you're striking the sand precisely in the right spot with good speed, I promise you the ball will get out of the bunker. I'm not saying it's going to get close to the flag and give you a chance to get up and down, but it will get out of the bunker. Okay, so what we're going to talk about now is more about the setup and the swing for a bunker shot and then demonstrate one. So starting from the ground up, I always like to try and get in the bunker and kind of nestle my feet in the sand just fractionally with a nice wide base. I'm trying to get my feet, my stance nice and wide. My ball position has to be a little bit forward in my stance. So what I like to do is draw a line in the middle of my stance. You could use your club or anything like that, just so you can see a clear line, and you're really trying to get that in the middle of your stance with the ball position placed a little bit forward, because this line here is actually the point the club is going to strike when it enters the sand. Like I said, you're not striking the golf ball. All right, so get a nice firm base, get your feet settled into the sand, nice wide stance, ball position a little bit forward. Then take your grip and get your posture as normal. What I like to do then is get the round piece at the top of the grip pointing at your belt buckle. Okay, this is really important. What I see a lot of people of is kind of leaning that shaft too far forward, like a chip shot or a normal shot. That's going to promote the leading edge to dig into the sand too much, take away loft and bounce away from the club, which can do you no favours trying to get this ball out of the bunker. Okay, so try and get this shaft as neutral as possible, the round bit pointing right at the belt buckle on top of the grip. That's going to allow you to keep the loft there and utilise the bounce, which is your best friend. It will help you get the ball out of the bunker. Okay, going into the swing now, what I like to do is really trying to feel that your lower body, you should set your lower body about 60% to your left side, but when you make your swing, try and keep your lower body as still as possible. What we want to try and do is keep the weight about 60% on the left side, make your swing, keep it nice and wide, make sure you hinge the club up nicely, but try and keep that 60% consistent onto your left side. What a lot of people do is they kind of laterally move their bodies, they make the backswing, which causes them to kind of enter the sand a little bit early and not hitting that line in the middle of their stance. So try and keep that weight nicely onto your left side. Like I said, make that nice wide swing, make sure you're hinging the club. As you're coming into the sand, all you're focusing on is that line, hitting that point behind the ball precisely, making sure you hit that spot, and then through the ball, make sure you keep the speed up and make sure you're releasing that club. Okay, what we don't want to be doing is kind of letting the leading edge enter the sand and then get the club stopping down here. So you're not releasing the club, you're not keeping the loft on the club, and the ball won't get out. So as you swing through, make sure you're releasing that club, make sure the club finishes nice and high. That's going to keep loft and bounce in the club, which is going to help you get the ball up and out of the bunker. So, demonstration, here goes. Pressure on. So nice wide stance, ball forward, leading edge, the butt of the club pointing at the belt buckle, keeping the weight about 60% on the left side, nice wide swing, hit that point, good speed, release the club and make sure the club has enough speed to finish nice and high. Okay, here it goes. Not too bad. So remember those points, guys, and I guarantee your bunker play will definitely improve. What I'm going to go through now just quickly is something I get asked a lot in bunker lessons. How do you play a bunker shot when you step into the bunker? We've all done it before, a different golf course where the sand's a little bit different. You step in and your feet just sink. There's so much sand in there. Or the bunker shot, a bit like today where it's been raining, the sand is very compact and very hard. Both shots are extremely difficult, okay, and both shots you don't get any control from, so they are difficult. It's about just getting the ball out of the bunker, in all honesty. But the first one, just imagine today we've stepped into the bunker and there's loads of sand in there, okay? So what I like to try and do is try and feel like my swing plane is a little bit more shallow. So I like to increase my knee flex. I like to try and get a little bit lower in the sand, okay? And then in my backswing, all the other principles stay the same, but in the backswing, I'm really trying to feel I'm swinging a little bit more around my body. I'm not allowing that club to come in too steep to dig into the sand and obviously knock it out where there's so much sand. So I'm really trying to feel like almost the club is just skimming almost at the top of the sand, obviously underneath the ball to help the ball come out. Okay, so although we haven't got the conditions here today, I'm just going to briefly show you what I mean by that. So everything else will stay the same. All I'm going to do is try and feel I'm sitting down a little bit more, increasing my knee flex and trying to feel my swing plane is that little bit flatter. Okay, so a little bit lower. See it a little bit flatter. And what you noticed on that one, the ball was a little bit higher. Okay, the more shallow you come into the golf ball, the ball will pop up a little bit higher. So the next one, we've got perfect conditions for this. Nice firm sand, very compact, very wet. You might even kind of get occasionally a little bit of a plugged one as well. How do you play this? Again, very little control, but I like to try and do the opposite now. So the setup stays exactly the same to a normal greenside bunker shot, but the one thing I like to do now in the backswing is really try and feel I'm hinging the club a little bit more, because in this one I want to get a little bit steeper into the ball. Okay, you have the danger of when you're steeper, the club's going to dig in underneath the ball and not come out, and the ball might not get out of the bunker. So make sure that you're getting a little bit steeper, you're keeping that speed up, finishing nice and high, releasing the club. But just make sure when you swing back, you're actually feeling the club, you're hinging the club a little bit more, almost feeling the club head's going to descend into the back of into the sand a little bit steeper. But make sure you keep that speed up and finish the club nice and high. So here's a demonstration of this one. You can see that one come out of the bunker a little bit lower, but it definitely got out. Okay guys, so there's your bunker lesson. I hope you can learn something from those tips I give you, from a normal bunker shot to conditions where we have too much sand in the bunker and a bunker where the sand is very hard and compact. So I know you can't practice this at the moment, but next time you're back onto the golf course or you can do some practice, have a go at these tips, and I'm certain it will help you in your bunker play. Until I see you next guys, which is in December, beginning of December, hopefully, fingers crossed, continue to stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you back out on the golf course real soon. Thank you very much.